Folks, we are getting it done today. What's up, guys? Guys, I had to switch trucks. My other truck is getting work done to it. I think the water pump is leaking antifreeze, so guys, it's always good to have a plan B. But listen up, guys. I am on the way to, I think we put in a heat pump here. This had to have been like at least 2 or 3 years ago. Everything is rocking and rolling. We're just out here today for the heat maintenance. We want to make sure that everything is rocking and rolling. Nothing got taken care of here ever since they got the heat pump in. I think the older unit had compressor issues, but we came out this past spring. Everything is rocking and rolling. I'll see y'all when I get inside. All right, guys. We're inside. The customer said that he already replaced the filter. But let's go outside real quick. I'm gonna go outside. I'll be right back. Yeah. All right, guys. I remember doing this install like it was yesterday. I know it's hot as a motherfucker out here, guys. We're talking 100 degrees. But it's a blessing to enjoy the fruits of your labor, guys. You go through the bad times so you can enjoy the good times on the back end instead of living good now and dealing with consequences later on. All right. So, guys, right now, this whole week is going to be like close to 70 degrees in PA. I don't expect my electric heat to run. So, guys, you didn't see me open up the panel inside yet to check the electric heat because I got a feeling right now we have it on regular heat and I turned it up to 80. Due to the high ambient temperatures, the heat pump is going to be enough to heat the home. However, if this is a 30-degree day or less, I highly doubt this heat pump would be running. It probably would have turned off by now and my electric heat will be running. But guys, let me go to the truck. Let me get what I need. Let's open up this heat pump and I'll be right back. Guys, I just wiped the pollen that was on the unit. Now we got our cover off. This is a Ducane 17 SEER, 2-year-old heat pump. And guys, there isn't much wear and tear to be expected out here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my brush and clean what little webbing I can see inside this electrical component area. Let me get that squared away. And I'll be right back. Guys, electrical area is clean. And what is this, a 45-7.5. Let's test our cap out. Let me get my meter. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Let's check our compressor side first. .45 is what we're looking for, or something very close to it. 45.1. And like I said, guys, under 2 years, it's not really much. And I can't say there's not much wear and tear because, guys, one thing you got to understand, the difference between heat pump capacitors and straight AC capacitors. This capacitor is going to get used year round on a heat pump. So even though the heat pump is only 2 years old, if there were to be any excessive wear and tear, I wouldn't be surprised due to the fact that I know that this capacitor runs year round. But the fact that it's 2 years old, usually it's going to take typically close to 4 or 5 years at a minimum for you to really see a difference in the numbers. And guys, there's variables to that as well. It depends on the usage. It depends on, once again, if it's a straight AC or a heat pump. And like I said, guys, not everybody runs their AC at the same temperature. Some people keep their thermostats at 75 year round, and some people keep their thermostats at 68 degrees year round. The difference between those two numbers could be a direct factor as to how much wear and tear accumulates on the capacitor, guys. And that's just the name of the game. But regardless, if you check it, you know what it's rated for. And like I said, guys, depends on what it's rated for and what it's showing. If the capacitor is below that threshold, this is plus or minus 5%. at that point, you should bring that up to the customer's attention and let them know that the capacitor is not a lifelong item. It's important to get this capacitor checked on the maintenance before the number starts to go down. Otherwise, you don't know what this can lead to, compressor or outdoor fan motor problems. But all right, guys, everything's rocking and rolling. I know my electric heat is probably on right now, so I can't. Right now I have my disconnect pulled out, so I know my thermostat probably is turning on my electric heat already by now. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back together, and I gotta check for amps on both of my motors, and I gotta get some stuff off the top of this unit. All right, guys, I'll be right back. 28.6. 5.5. Not bad. Hey guys, one thing I know we did last spring when we came out here, we did hose this coil down. The coils don't look too bad in the summer, but we still hose it down anyway because there's a bunch of twigs, leaves, and debris, and also pollen that can stick to this coil. Now guys, one thing I mentioned on previous videos, I'll tell you again, on heat pump maintenances, it's very important to make sure that the condenser coil stays clean, because one thing you guys got to realize is with heat pumps, the heat pump relies on the condenser coil to reject heat in the summertime and also absorb heat in the winter. And guys, if a customer never got maintenance done on this heat pump and they allow pollen and dirt and debris to clog up the coil, for one, you're going to have high head pressure in the summertime, which could cause issues for your compressor. And two, in the wintertime, think about this condenser trying to absorb heat right now, and you cover this unit with a big piece of cardboard. Now, this heat pump won't be able to properly absorb heat, and now that's going to result in higher energy bills, essentially rendering this heat pump useless. If this heat pump can't absorb heat in the wintertime to send heat into the home, this customer is going to be forced to rely on whatever backup heat they have inside. In this case, it's electric. And guys, year round, they're going to have nothing but issues. So guys, it takes nothing for you to explain how a heat pump works to a customer. But guys, I don't know why it's like that. Even with today's technology, every 10 customers you find with a heat pump, they can find this stuff online, but it's not the same as having an experienced technician come out to explain technical things in very simple terms, not a bunch of word salad and semantics. Guys, that's why I was telling you, half of the stuff is technical, but you have to be able to explain this in a way the customer understands. And like you said, the more they understand, the more simple you make it, that's going to get a customer a lot more confidence to know what to do, what not to do, what to expect, and what not to expect with heat pumps. Capiche? All right, guys. Let me put the door back on, and I'm pretty sure inside is already like 95 degrees. Let me put the door back on. I got to go inside. I'll be right back. All right, guys. As I mentioned earlier, the customer already takes care of the filter. Filter's clean. I just had to go back inside and turn it off. But yeah, guys, there you have it. 17-series heat pump, still rocking and rolling. We'll come back out in the spring to make sure she's rocking and rolling. I got all my tools. Cool. I got to get to the next call, guys. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.